We're back, though.
No, we're here, man. We're here live in the place to be. I'm Rob Lee.
I am just Greg.
It should just be ellipses Greg. Just 3 dots.
Just underscore Greg.
Don't follow him on IG. This
there
is
no
Unofficially
IG.
Black. Thank you for tuning in, checking us out. We're here on Fridays at 9 to whenever K kicks us out. So, yeah, let's get right into it, man.
All right.
It's Black History Month. It's what, we're 9 days in?
9 days in.
It's the 9th date, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with it, one of the things I think that we need to have some attention toward is black health.
Absolutely.
And it's really hard, really challenging to kind of stay within like a healthy mindset. I was listening a little bit to the show prior to ours, and they were talking about veganism and all of that different stuff, and that's cool. But you ever notice, like, and maybe it was an uptick of it going into 2018, because many people say, yeah, I'm going to be vegan now, son.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that works for everybody.
It doesn't.
Like,
There's a lot of people who do it, and they think that's what's going to make them completely lose every pound, every fiber that they're trying to get rid of.
all I know is niggas don't eat soy.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Sebi, rather.
Brother Yaku.
I mean, didn't fucking Dr. Sebi, like, before he, was murdered or whatever happened there, didn't he say something along the lines that, like, soy is bad for you and shit? Like,
Yes.
It's essentially a poison?
Well,
Because
yeah.
it's an organic plastic.
Yeah, salt is just bad completely.
So, with it,
But
like,
it's good for refrigeration.
what is it? Preservation.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I work with the whites.
Okay.
Work for the church. And,
The white people.
white people. And we had a Black History celebration. And, acknowledging the, I guess, contributions for black people. But with it, it was a luncheon.
Oh, shit.
So,
Oh, shit. All right.
yeah, this is where I'm going with it.
Fried chicken, macaroni.
No fried chicken.
No fried chicken.
Because people were not being on the nose with it. People were not being overtly racist.
Okay.
But
There was
we did
cornbread.
have, you fucking right it was.
God damn.
But you know that bit that goes like white people don't season their food? You can tell who prepared this food.
Yes.
But isn't like salt, aka seasoning, like really bad for us?
To a degree.
Like we're super sensitive to it?
Well, to a degree, because sometimes seasoning means just pepper.
I'm just saying like salt.
Well, yeah.
Like
a lot of people
flour.
put a shitload of salt on their stuff. Like, I've been in one restaurant, and they have like a fucking salt castle coming off of their
A
stuff.
salt castle.
Yes, you can literally filter out the food, and you just see all salt coming out.
Oh, it's so salty. We had spread included. I think it was
I won't put the restaurant.
baked chicken. Yeah, baked chicken. Well, strike that. It was live jazz music. That was the backdrop.
Oh god.
It was good jazz music. These are black people.
Oh.
The jazz music.
Okay.
White people did the cooking. Black people did the music. So you got one thing right.
It sounds like the worst of one world and the best of the other.
Right. So fucking the food, the spread included the baked chicken, macaroni and cheese, greens, some salad,
That doesn't sound good.
cornbread, and a few different pastries. I know I'm overlooking. Oh, yams. I just said yams. They weren't candied, my man.
Oh.
It was just fucking boiled like potatoes.
Oh,
and just
God.
thick sliced, and they were like a fucking inch and a half thick. I was like, what's this fucking potato patty I'm having, my nigga?
Look, you don't get participation trophies for cooking.
Now, here's
There's
the thing.
no participation trophy for cooking.
One thing that I forgot, next to each other was the mac and cheese, which were listed as vegetarian, which was a point of question at the table that I was having lunch at.
How?
And there was vegan short ribs. I partook of the vegan short ribs.
You didn't like it?
They were delicious.
Oh, okay.
But like it was like too close. It's almost like one of those like rubber sex dolls. You're like, this isn't vagina.
Yeah.
You're like, this isn't me. It was literally
For
that.
$2,000, you too can find out.
But fucking, it was not that. So I mean, it was basically the components of a pepper steak. You've had pepper steak. Pepper steak.
Yeah, pepper steak
right?
is amazing.
So you had that spread, and the mac and cheese was really fucking good. But I misread it, and a lot of people do this. Like vegetarian is not vegan.
Yeah.
But people make that because they veg or what have you, they have to be the same thing.
Yeah.
As long as there's no meat in it,
They
as far as
can't eat
it's vegetarian.
It's vegetarian. If it's
vegan thing, then it's no
if it
product.
involves an animal getting killed or something coming out of an animal, that's vegan.
So, because someone was like, why is it so buttery and cheesy? I was like, because it's only vegetarian. It's not like bacon in this motherfucker or nothing.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and I destroyed this shit. Oh, by the way, the cornbread was delicious.
That's good.
I literally said that out loud. I was like, this fucking cornbread is great. And
every white person just looks at you in validation and said,
exactly.
Thank you, kind sir.
Exactly.
Thank you, Robert.
It's like this large black man knows
This black man knows my struggle with cooking.
The only struggle that they actually have
was the damn chicken.
They have the anti-privilege when it comes to black soul food.
Oh, God.
But I was sitting there and I was thinking and looking over some of the stuff. They had old videos from like the civil rights movement playing in the background on the TVs there. And there was a trivia thing and all of this different shit, but the food was a thing.
Yep.
And remember in the movie, was it Soul Food, the actual movie?
Oh, God, that movie.
That food she was making was not the healthiest shit, right?
There was nothing healthy in that house minus those greens.
And the greens were just soaked in salt, my man.
Those greens.
I mean, they soaked it in something dry. I mean, that just said
that movie, there was nothing healthy minus the greens getting unpacked.
Didn't she have the diabetes or something?
She did have diabetes.
Notice I said the diabetes.
Why did you? She had to get insulin because she burnt her arm. Remember, she put her.
I try to forget that movie actually.
Really, her arm caught on fire. This fucked up.
I might be a piece of shit for laughing at that.
But yeah, it did. I think she forgot what happened.
She died.
No, well, she died eventually, but that was one of the
disease was
things. Yeah, because it triggered it. She wasn't taking her insulin.
But that's the thing. Like,
But-
to where I was going at with it, in the very beginning of this whole fucking derailed logic train is that there are things that we are supposed to have that are black, like overly sweet candy yams around the holidays, super salty fucking shit with ham hog, all this fucking bullshit in there. You know, like that's not what you're supposed to have, like in large quantities. And you'll see people like, yeah, I'm gonna get 6 wings and shit and fries. It's like, yo, why is that your meal daily, my man?
Yeah.
Like, have a vegetable, have some okra, and not fried.
At least one vegetable. Like, I think your plate should be predominantly.
It should be colorful.
Yeah, it should be at least a vegetable or a fruit that is enough for you to say, okay, that's a lot.
Ketchup doesn't count.
Ketchup does not count.
Potatoes don't count
Potatoes definitely don't count.
because it's just starch. It's just sugar ultimately.
Bread, and then sugar turns to
Well,
salt.
bread doesn't grow. Well, it does.
Well, I mean, just saying like just bread in general, potatoes and whatnot.
Pasta.
Just, yeah, I'm not. I got away from bread not long ago.
Go on.
It's just
Are you using like portobello mushrooms as your buns?
no, it's just something I just did. It was like, oh, let's get rid of stuff and see what happens.
Okay.
I got rid of that. I got rid of dairy. That was hard.
I'm judging.
Why? For dairy? Dairy was hard, man.
In fairness, I had some stomach discomfort during the course of the week, just eating cereal, just freebasing fucking like, and it's not even like unhealthy cereal. I eat Wheaties.
Yeah.
So it's like you could eat Lucky Charms, but you're eating Wheaties, so you're not in the, sugary section.
There's a fun fact about cereal, but I'll let you continue first.
Don't ruin that for me.
I'm going to have to.
I'm still gonna eat it,
That's fine. That's perfect.
but you're not gonna do what's the thing that hey man, you wanna do something about veganism? And look at this video with chickens. Like they're animals, they're gonna be killed. I don't give a shit.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not-
care.
not-
What did they put? What did they put cum in it or something?
No. There's a study out now that says, pizza is more healthier than eating cereal.
I disagree with that.
I do too. I called bullshit on
I call great bullshit on it.
but it's a hilarious article.
Because it's like, you can eat, like, I know some people, I don't know which movie it was, or maybe it was a TV show where fuckers, no, it was a TV show.
Is it the Boondocks?
It was someone who had like a trunk full of like different cereals.
Nah,
No, it was a bit from Kevin Smith on his his podcast years ago, and he was saying like, yeah, just mixing different cereals together, and it was just all this sugary as fucking. It was like, yeah, you just some Frosted Flakes, and you put the Lucky Charms marshmallows in there.
Oh my god!
And I was like, that's just straight fucking sugar.
It tastes fucking delicious, but you will crash really hard.
But here's another thing. Going back to that lunch thing, I was kind of getting at with the 6 wings and the fries. Mm-hmm. What is the prototypical drink that comes with that brown bag that your other greasy deliciousness is coming in?
A soda.
Or half and half.
Half and half, yeah.
That shit's not good for you every day. Because like,
I don't like soda, period.
I don't drink soda myself, but I drink juice with still sugar and shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
And sugar ultimately is the culprit. And why? A few factors for you. Why, we represent black people, 13% of this country?
Yeah.
Why are we so high in a disproportionate way when it comes to other things such as STIs, having the germ, walking around with the fucking AIDS?
Yeah.
High blood pressure, diabetes. And it's like it doesn't make sense. It's like health education, health awareness, and just being mindful. Like, not saying I'm not going to sit here and be a fat guy and tell fuckers, hey, don't eat this, put that chocolate bar down. Who am I to do that? But I think being conscious and aware of what the fuck you're doing is important.
Yeah, can I say fat guy in progress? Well, deprogress? Or
Go on.
under construction.
Yeah, under deconstruction.
Under deconstruction. But
I think that's what Missy was talking about when she lost that weight. Under deconstruction.
I'm deconstructing myself. But, God damn, that sounds horrible.
I know, right?
But damn, where was I going with this?
Fat guys and food and stuff.
Well, more so, you just have to understand your constraints and what you can do with it. Like, for me, I believe that the best drink to have, water. Yes.
Yeah,
water is incredible.
Point blank period. Drink more water, whether it's tea.
I had a conversation with a Lyft driver. She was driving, and she was asking me, because I told her how much weight I lost, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, how did you do it? Like, did you drink any soda or anything?" I was like, "Soda? No, I just drank water."
Who the fuck is soda a weight loss thing?
That's what I was. That was my question. Yeah, I was like, wait, no, I'm not drinking Diet Coke. First of all, that's a myth too. Diet Coke is a myth. Diet Pepsi is a myth. Yes, because
here's the thing. Like, a lot of things, and I'm sure you've run into this because you read your labels just like I do.
Yeah.
Anything in there that purports itself to be fat-free,
sugar-free,
is horrible for you.
Yeah.
It's worse for you than the alternative. Like, I enjoy Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
They're carby and they're cheesy.
Yeah.
As the name indicates.
And they're very low in sodium.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
But when you do low sodium ones,
yeah,
they're higher in fat.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a trade-off. It's a balance. You're not supposed to have cheesy crackers that are going to be healthy for you. Those things don't go together. Like, here's this healthy cookie.
Yeah.
They don't go to, it's chocolate and butter and sugar.
And when it comes to diet stuff, like sugar-free and everything, you have to understand that substitute sugar is worse than actual sugar itself.
Because it's I've read, and maybe it's bullshit, but it makes some sense. He said chemically, these imitation sugars, the brain can't compute it.
Yeah.
So because the brain can't compute it, it's just like, oh, this is waste. That's where cancer comes from. That the body doesn't process it. It's like, oh, is this going to be fat? Is this going to be sugar? I'm not sure. So this is just going to be a foreign body.
I think more substitutes like Splenda and stuff like that, I think the body can understand what's there. But Equal and what's the other one? The pink one?
Isn't that Equal?
No, Equal is the blue one.
The pink one,
Sweet and Low, yes. I think those two are the ones that have.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Splenda is.
They're all artificial.
Yeah, they're all artificial. I think actual pure sugar, because I don't think is pure sugar actually white.
Is anything actually white, Greg?
That's what I'm saying.
Anything that's white for you, Greg, is bad.
It's always bad.
Pink sugar is better for you than white sugar.
Brown sugar is amazing.
I mean, pink salt. I'm sorry, pink salt.
Yeah, pink salt.
Himalayan salt.
Yep.
Yes, pink salt.
Yeah.
Can we call it pink salt? Mm-hmm. But let's not focus purely on food Just motherfucker, read a menu. Know what's in your shit.
Yeah.
But I remember this Saul Williams interview. I think he was on some New York fucking station. I won't reference them, but he was talking about how your diet is not purely what you consume, like as in food, but it's what you consume overall, whether mentally, whether it's spiritually, socially, whatever. It all makes up your health.
Yeah.
So,
stress plays a huge.
Expound.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to explain?
Yeah, expound.
I mean, more so in the fact that stress causes more strenuous activity on yourself. Sometimes
Strenuous.
strenuous.
That's not a word.
It's not. No.
You mean strenuous?
Strenuous. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Look, I just woke up like at 6 o'clock.
Go on.
Got here.
I'm listening.
You know,
Your excuse is not good, but go
it's
on.
not good. But you know, trouble sleeping, excessive work. You know, your schedule. All of that factors in.
The stress point is very, because I'm a person that recognized like stress was a big impact on me. It's very strenuous.
Yeah.
In strenuous. We got to get that one over. But
It's strenuous.
and I check it. There are certain things that impact black people, right? It's all we talked about, what have you. But in the environmental stuff, like if you're out here, you're under pressure, I know I'm a fucking 6'4" black man with a beard. I'm in the shit all the time. Nigga. I'm in the fucking trenches. And
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, man. But fucking, it's the thing. Like, you look at news and shit, right? And remember that period where it was just time to shoot a nigga? Like,
Yeah.
and just the injustice, right, would get under your skin and get this visceral reaction from you. That
It
visceral
still
reaction is your stress level increasing.
Yeah.
That's why I don't fucking watch the news.
That's why I stopped watching the news too. But it doesn't help when you have people who work with you who bring up the news.
Yeah, you saw this shit that happened? Like, no, nigga, I'm actively having a blackout. I don't want to give a fuck about
I don't
this.
want to. And then they give you the opposite perspective of it. Like, I was listening, like, there's people who are extremely one side of a political spectrum.
Talking about Republicans.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was being PC.
Fuck 'em.
Nice.
They don't listen. In the words of my brother, fuck them, they don't listen.
Whew. But,
It's a good line.
shots fired.
It's a good line.
Yeah, it is. But, they give their perspective on stuff. And it's frustrating to hear because it's like, you don't know what you're talking about sometimes. It's like, it sounds cut and dry, but not everything is cut and dry.
Well, they're based in ignorance. I at one point, and maybe he even listens to it because he's some type of fucking stalker, but it was a guy I used to go to the gym with. And he'd always try to get into these lightweight, like, quasi-political, quasi-religious conversations. And he must assume because I have the beard that I'm Muslim or something. So he was like, tell me about the Quran. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, brother. And I would have that level of like, why are you asking me questions about shit that, one, it's not my business, and two, why are you like, he's quoting like, I don't know if they call it scripture, but he's quoting like Quran scripture to me.
That is hilarious.
You know a lot for something that you dislike.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this a conversation that we're having, dude? Like, it's like, at a point, I had to come to the realization that I can't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I get it, like, in smoking weed and things of that nature. Not like that I do it regularly, but I kind of understand why some people just need that departure.
Yeah.
Just to get away, because you have a little bit of that dosage of, I don't give a fuck about that.
That's why the NFL should make it legal.
Yeah. But it's like, you don't need that. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. I believe all athletes have that too, in the sense of, pain and whatnot, and that just helps relieve. Doesn't help relieve pain like, oh my gosh, I'm fully healed, but it just helps soothe the pain out.
What do you know, since we're trying to kind of cover various areas, what do you know in terms of like spiritual stuff? Like, I'm kind of weird with it because I don't really do the religious stuff too heavy.
I'm not
anti-black.
I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual.
Oh my God! Don't say shit like that to me. Go on, explain that bullshit you just said.
I'm not religious. It's just more so I believe that your best experience is your best teacher is your own experience.
Go on. Says the 22-year-old.
22.
Yeah, just took years off of you.
Yeah, you took a few years off.
Yeah.
Goodness. But yeah, I think your best teacher is your experience. Sometimes you do stuff and your reaction happens for a reason. And some things that happen, you have to learn from, and that's gonna stay forever.
So you don't believe in a big spaghetti monster in the sky?
I don't.
There is a church called the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Really?
I think it's like
Big flying spaghetti monster.
They have recognized.
Do they throw meatballs at everybody?
I don't know.
Here's a spaghetti meatball.
They're recognized as the actual church.
When I was in Philadelphia,
My girl can attest to this. She stopped me. They had a what's the nut jobs, the religious nut jobs that are usually in Hollywood.
Scientologists?
I didn't want to say them because I don't want to get sued. But yes, they had like an office right there from like across the street from like the main market a bit of like the Broad Street Market or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna go in there looking for John Travolta. And she was like, don't fucking go in there. She was like, they will not let you leave.
They won't.
But the one thing that I do because I like to learn. There's a curiosity that I have, and I look into metaphysics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
I'm a hitty individual, man. So I look at I'll listen to old and buy books.
I had a few books from Alan Watts.
I listen to his old lectures. Raj Purdy is another guy. And it's just kind of sorting through a lot of the stuff that you have going on. And as a person to kind of like, all right, one of the main things that I got is this. And it ties into what you said. There's no coincidences. Everything, it kind of, it's nothing new, but it's packaged in a different way that makes sense. And, you know, I was dealing with bullshit and just kind of stressed out about it and recognizing that, hey, I needed to take a look at some shit. Being aware that I needed to take a look at some shit and just trying to recalibrate. I pulled up some Raj Purdy and was just listening to it, and he has a little song and dance with a little musical break or what have you. And it's about being happy and it's about being free and not being confined to these rigid standards that we have to have. As you're a black guy, you're supposed to do this.
Are you a meditator?
I am.
I am too.
It's really fucking hard.
I meditate once a year.
Really?
Yeah, just once a year. I feel like you have a whole bunch of bullshit that you can compact for a year.
It's a constipation goal. Emotional constipation.
I get the whole compact for a year, and then I say, you know what? After that, just release it all. Like I don't bring work home with me.
So you don't kick the dog?
No, I don't. I can't bring work home.
Well, you're furloughed right now, so I mean.
Well, no,
They got changed?
Yeah,
Mazel
9
tov.
o'clock.
Mazel tov.
9 o'clock in the morning. They said we were furloughed 12 o'clock. Then 9 o'clock, they were like, oh, we're not furloughed.
But I mean, that in itself could be fucking stressful.
That was stressful. All of that was stressful.
What are we doing? What's my future?
Yeah, I actually plan to meditate next week because of that shit.
It's like, for me, it's a continual cycle of meditation and masturbation. That's all it is for me.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like people who say they don't masturbate, I'm kind of look at it a weird way.
But that's your sexual health and shit. Like,
yeah, like you kind of need that, like just to get one out, just to relieve the stress.
If you don't get it sorted, you know, you start having all types of get it sorted. Get yourself taken care of.
I feel like you just need to release one out in the world and just be like,
just splooge. You know?
I can fucking go to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
It's perfect to help you go to sleep.
And here's the last thing before we
Or
go to,
sex.
But here's the last thing before we go to our break. Drugs.
The drug thing is interesting. You know, I imbibe in a few drugs here and there. Well, by a few, I mean one. You know what? Not even drugs. Vices. Let's call it vices. I enjoy alcohol, but in moderation. I enjoy marijuana, and in moderation. But if you're just, I can only go to work if I'm fucking waking and baking and shit.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. You're a piece of shit because there's a lifestyle attached to it.
Well,
it's not like you have uber successful. You know, I'm like a top flight defense lawyer, and
there's people out there who just going through it. Like
that's fine.
And that helps them get through what they have to get through.
It's a mindful thing. Not everyone is aware that they need this, that they're using it as a crutch.
Oh, there's people who do use it as a crutch. There's people who use a lot of things as a crutch.
That's what I'm saying. Your vices and shit. So, like, if you have a motherfucker who is like, I gotta roll up as soon as I get out. Like, as soon as I get home. It's just like,
why?
Take your jacket off first?
Yeah.
Nah, nigga, I need to get to this weed. It's like unwrapping the fucking
hot as
Amazon
shit.
gift.
It's hot as shit in your house, like 80 degrees, and wearing like a Timberland coat with Timberland boots, and just like, man, I just need to roll one right now.
Right, and it's like
Sweating
I'm not
all
saying,
down.
And notice the nuance there. I'm not saying not to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like be aware that that's something that you're doing that there's again it's a lifestyle associated with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I know a doctor who
says and this is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know that
Some
chemically
eating candy.
heroin
Yeah.
is less bad for you than cocaine.
Interesting.
But the lifestyle associated with
With
it,
heroin,
what they
yeah.
call the comorbidities, I think, is bad.
That's a strong word, by the way.
Well, you know,
Comorbidities.
I've hung up with the doctors and shit.
The bidities.
So I mean, you out there, you know, doing these other things and shit. It's just like,
Just
you know, you got to clean your arm. It turns to fucking Requiem with a Dream.
yeah. Oh my God.
Right?
You don't want to be Marlon Wayans in that.
No,
You don't want to be Marlon Wayans. Period. You definitely don't want to be Marlon Wayans in that.
I mean, you know, when I buy the cocaine, nah, I don't. But you just have to recognize in
Unless
all
you're
of
a
it.
1930s musician. Yeah, let me get some of that.
I had a little thing for the needle. John Coltrane before Love Supreme. But if you get into any of the shit, you know, just all of it. The main thing
Yeah.
I'll have to say before we break here is just be cognizant of what you're doing, how you're doing it,
Yeah.
and how it's impacting you for the long haul. Like, and I guess that metaphysics and all of that stuff they speak on, being in the moment, being mindfully aware is also a big piece of it. If you're just being in the moment, it's like, hey, I'm just enjoying this is great.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of living for the moment and shit, and you're not really thinking. You gotta have rooted in the moment and one foot like towards the future.
Yeah.
And I think that's how that has to work in terms of your health and in terms of your long-term goals.
Yeah. I agree. I would say one thing, and that's pertaining back to the food.
Pertaining
subject.
back to the food. You
Yeah.
with the food every time, Greg.
Look. Food is amazing.
No.
But I believe that it's not
It's fuel.
amazing.
It's only fuel, Greg.
Shame on
I
you.
want to be one of those guys.
Oh, don't. Are you gonna like?
Yes.
Fuel is for the fuel.
That's why I have this hipster beard and
But-
with the fucking handlebar mustache.
Yeah, I think that the biggest issue in terms of health, in terms of food-wise, is the fact that we're not making our food.
So you talk about like urban farms and shit like
Well,
that?
yeah, I think that there's a lot of people who need to learn how to produce crops on their own. Need to learn how to hunt, learn how to do all of that.
I agree with that. Hunting, having your own chickens to urban farms, all of that stuff is important. That's all stuff that I feel that we can expound on.
Yeah,
And in a future episode, maybe we get a farmer on here, an urban farmer.
urban farmers. Let's get Killer Mike on here so he's going to the range.
He's not gonna be able to fit on the screen.
Don't do that to him.
He's a large guy as well.
Look, Mr. Michael Render, I am a huge fan of you.
He's a fellow Aquarius, I think. I fucks with him, but he is a, you know.
Look, we keep
He was
look.
breathing like Keith Lee. It was not good.
we
was
can get this
struggling.
work. We can make it work.
Come and get these hands, man.
I probably just have to crop myself so you only see one eye.
Jesus Christ. So, yeah, we're gonna go to a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned in to Unofficially Black. I'm Rob, just Greg.
Yep. Oh, I was gonna say we may have an interview.